Hey now, it's almost lunchtime, so I figured I'd go ahead and prepare my steak, mashed potatoes, and gravy as my test. And what I'm going to use is this little tripod gadget here. It's got the bendable leg, so you can wrap around a tree limb or a fence post or your arm, your leg, your head, whatever. It won't fit around my head, it's too big, but anyhow, what I've already done is I've gone ahead and split up my gravy, just a Kroger brand brown gravy. My Idahoan 4 cheese mashed potatoes. I've cut out the directions so I don't forget what kind of amounts to put in what. The whole package calls for 2 cups of water, so each of these bags will represent 1 cup of water. And I've got my beef steaks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-hydrate these. My thought is this. When we get to camp, I'll pull these out. I'll pour them in some a Ziploc bag with some water to start the rehydration process. And that way when it's time to cook them, they would have already had some hydration done to it, and maybe it'll be better. So let's go ahead and set it up and start the process, and I'll probably let them rehydrate for about 30 to 45 minutes, which is probably about the time it's going to take us all to set up our camp and get settled. There's not a whole lot of steak chunks in here. I'm going to pour out the whole contents so you can see. And that's it. Not a whole lot in there. Maybe a dozen chunks. 14 chunks. Now half of these remain with me on the trail, and I'll eat those while hiking. One more. Now if you want, so what I'm probably going to do is do this ahead of time. I'm going to cut these up. Cut them in half, that way I got twice as much. That way my knife will be clean for the trail and I won't have to worry about toting around a knife that's covered in dehydrated meat parts. So let me clean this up. So there you go. I got 14 small pieces of meat in there. Now I'm just going to rehydrate these with a little bit of water. I'm not going to make soup out of it. I'm just going to pour enough in here just to cover it up, and then I'm going to set it to the side. That's it. Not even a cup, maybe a half a cup. Just enough. Now what I can do is set that aside while I'm setting up camp, and it'll be starting the process of that. And I have 3 minutes till 11. So we're going to come back. 3 minutes till 11. So we'll come back in probably 30 minutes and prepare the rest of it. It's been about 43 minutes, 42 minutes. And been hydrating for a while. Still kind of stiff, kind of firm. Didn't soak up a whole lot of water. I don't even know if that's going to work as far as rehydrating it. So let's take it outside and set it up. I'm going to seal these back up and put them in the fridge since I've opened them. Because like I said, I do have a camping trip coming up. And I'm going to want to save those. Oh, man, those smell good. Alright, I'm going to need 1 cup of water. This says 2, but I'm going to need 1 cup for the taters. And I'm just going to, this says 1 cup, so I'm going to need a half a cup for this amount for the gravy. So I'm going to boil up 2 cups of water. Which will be up to that second line right there. So 1 cup, and then a half a cup. There's 1 cup. And that's a little more than a half a cup. Boom, 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 boom. Now the reason I'm using this as my coffee cup instead of my REI brand, even with the duct tape on here and the lid, it's lighter. But this way I can get 3 cups. And I can store stuff in it with a lid and even maybe carry my coffee while it's sealed up. And that thing is bowed up at the bottom, it looks like. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. Alright. Boil away, boy. It won't take long. There's only a cup and a half of water in there. I have used these Idahoan potatoes many times at the house. And they are quite tasty, I must say. I'll save that for next time. Almost boiling. Now those Idahoan taters that I'm making are very easy to make. You boil up the water, pour it into the taters, stir it up until they're nice and moist, and then set them off to the side. And there's no cooking. You just boil the water and pour it in there. That's why I'm kind of looking forward to taking these on the trail, because they are very tasty. Alright, we got a rolling boil. Fantastic. Now we're going to figure out about a cup. And I'm going to use my coffee mug for that. And boom. There's a cup. Stir those up. Oh yeah. Let those sit a while. And I'll rig up something for my gravy. Now, inside this pot koozie, they will stay good and warm. Now for the gravy, same rule applies, just add water. Gravy smells pretty good. Now this I place on top, and it also stays warm. What happened? At some point I lost you. The video just died. I got plenty of power and plenty of room on the card, so I don't know what happened. And I don't remember what I was saying when it went dead. Oh, sweet tea. I gotta find a way to make some sweet tea on the trail. Problem is, I like my tea to be cold. But some of that, can't remember the name of it. We got little packets. Crystal Light. I may have to try some of those Crystal Light instant tea. See how that does. I can always add sugar on the trail, but I like it to be cold, so it's going to have to come straight from the creek. And I could take it on this coming trip because I know there's going to be a creek right there. I'll mix me up a big old jug of tea, throw it in the creek. Well, people, I appreciate it. I'm gonna finish my lunch and go back in and go to work. On my next video, I'm gonna be doing some equipment, so I'm gonna do that while we're actually out there car camping. So look for that coming up soon. And I can't get enough of them taters. On our car camping trip, we're going to be eating steak because we're car camping, so we can take a grill. I'm going to take a packet of these mashed potatoes for everybody. I think so, people, I'm going to finish eating my lunch. I appreciate you watching, appreciate your support. And just make sure before you go out on the trail, you do all the testing, whether it's a Bic lighter, all the way down to a menu that you want to come up with. Test it at home before you hit the trail. I'm a firm believer in that because I could do things differently here while I'm at home, and I've got all the resources I need, have it all ready when I get out to the trail and we're camping. Everything will fall right into place, and I won't have to worry about scrounging around to try to find an extra container or a bag or something like that. So appreciate you watching. I'm going to finish my lunch, and we'll see you next time. Man, that's good. But there's a wasp hovering around my head. I can see his shadow. Dadgum, you sting me, I'm gonna hurt you. So, I'm scared of wasps.